Hey guys, and welcome to another brand new video. In this video, we actually have a pretty nifty brand new thing coming over here from the PlayStation 5. Now, as you guys probably know, the PlayStation 5 has kind of been testing the waters when it comes to brand new features, brand new additions, brand new everything when it comes to the console itself. Sometimes utilizing AI, sometimes trying to go and pull the entire player base into trying to go and form and help things with like helpful tips and tutorials and all of that. And right now, the PlayStation 5 is getting something that's a little bit nifty, a little bit cool to go and help out anyone who's having issues and problems or are stuck on certain games on the console itself. So we're gonna go talk about this, and I want to hear your thoughts and comments on everything down below, because right now I kind of feel like we're in the fun era, or right now there's not that much, hopefully, big drama, and we're kind of seeing brand new features and layouts, both in the PlayStation and Xbox, which are focused more on quality of life and making the game performance a little bit better, and I kind of like it. So make sure you guys are subscribed with the notification on as we go throughout the video. Give me your thoughts and comments on everything down below, and of course, let me know if you guys like this or dislike this yourselves. So, as I mentioned, the PlayStation 5 has seen like a few different types of patents. This is not a patent video, this is a little bit more on the official side, but we've seen like patents and cool features of them trying to go utilize things like getting, let's say, 10,000 people and maybe have like suggestive hints. And then like say you're always having issues on dodging a specific attack or beating a boss or whatever it might be, they either have a chance to go and show tutorials if you need help, or as well, maybe have a chance to go and kind of just give you little helpful hints. We've also been seeing some AI potentially having things to tone down how hard a boss can be. So think like just as you're actually doing it, you lose a boss fight 20 times, it slowly gets a little bit easier, maybe it does just a little smidgen less damage every time, maybe takes a little bit more damage every time, and it kind of seems like long-term PlayStation's trying to make it so anyone who plays games and enjoys games don't have to be worried or stressed too much. Now, I'm sure a lot of these features will be turned on and off, but this was a little bit of an intriguing one, where the PlayStation 5 is now getting an automatic game clip feature that helps out other players. So the community game help will be available to all PlayStation 5 players with clips and hints to help people complete games. Now, this is kind of a fun little nifty thing. So once again, I do believe all this type of stuff is optional. So it's not like a big thing where it's like, oh, PlayStation's going to sit here and help you guys beat the game no matter what, or hand-holding too hard. I do believe most of the stuff is all optional and nothing super crazy, but it's intriguing to go and see. Saying Sony is introducing a new community game help feature on the PlayStation 5 later on this year. Now, we've seen, like I said, some patents and other various things tied with it, and this is basically designed to automatically create clips that can help other players. PlayStation 5 players will be able to automatically upload gameplay to help contribute to hint videos provided by game developers. So this is basically trying to see like, hey, like I beat the game, I beat a boss, I beat a specific thing, a Monster Hunter character, Dark Souls boss, Elden Ring area, zone, helpful tip, secret passages, whatever it might be. Just anything that you guys think might be helpful for a specific game, especially for harder games. They want to tie this all together to make it cooler and easier for people to enjoy the game experience. The opt-in experience will let the PS5 automatically capture a game clip when you complete an activity in supported titles. Then it will be reviewed by a moderator, and then if approved, your video will be published as a game help hint for PlayStation players to watch, learn from, and then rate, explains Sabrina Madritz, the Senior Director of Product Management for the PS5 platform experience. So this is a good example over here too, where I'm going to go give you guys a little zoom in over here. Or let me move myself down. As you guys see, the gameplay was published as a game hint. So once again, like let's use maybe a Elden Ring example. Now, not to spoil too much, but let's say for a game like Elden Ring, they'll have an occasional, say, invisible walkway. There's been a few areas in specific spots that are completely 100% hidden. But what people I remember when I did my Elden Ring playthrough, they'd do like those little helpful tips that would fall on the ground of the game itself. And they'd have like little lines and streak marks to basically make it show that you could go land on there and you could walk on there. And kind of funny enough, because the Elden Ring community was fantastic, they'd have like 1 and then 5 feet later this way, there'd be like 1 on the left, etc. And there'd be actual invisible walkways that have someone walking like straight and then eventually take a left and then go straight. And if you guys ever played Elden Ring, you guys probably know what I'm talking about. So this would be a very good example, or I think Elden Ring is probably one of the best examples to showcase on how this would be useful. If you want it, I do believe it seems like it's completely optional, not like shoved down your face, which I like. I don't like things that are, shoved down there. It's not good. I do not like that. I don't want to have a handheld Always when it comes to games. Maybe if I'm stuck there or want to go and see it, or I just get curious, I don't mind for bonus stuff. I'm stuck in a boss for 100 fights, maybe I'll check some guides. Maybe I'll look at some people, ask for some tips, whatever. But when it's the first time I'm doing it, I don't want this popping up. But it's kind of how they feel like they did it. So let's go and say you're in that same area. They would have a chance to have a game help hint that might be maybe selectable, or maybe pops up and gives you an option if you keep on dying in the area, whatever it might be. And then throughout the game itself, then you would maybe have like a video of someone maybe running through, falling down, running through these invisible paths. And you can be like, oh, hey, cool, there is a way to do it. Or I can maybe use this as a reference. Kind of think about how people do it for YouTube sometimes. Now, I'm not sure how many of you guys have already used YouTube itself to go look at like a guide or look at like a hidden place. I mean, I've done it on occasion. Or like, hey, how do I do a certain ending or whatever it might be. Like, I totally get it. Like, I've done it myself for sure. But that'd be the same thing, but inside the game itself. And that could be the same thing for bosses. Let's say that there's a random weird mechanic. Maybe you have to go hit like a face or eye, or you have to like drop a boulder on a boss. Whatever it might be. No one knows, like just whatever it might be. But if it's something that could be usable and helpful for the gaming community, it would be clipped after you beat it yourself. Then basically if you want to submit it, and at the same exact time, someone who will manually go through it be like, hey, this is the perfect example of what you have to go through. Or maybe example is maybe like 50 of them. So you can just go pick and choose randomly, and whatever one seems to be in the right spot, it works out very well. So I guess that they have like a little pop-up that would show up over here if everything was approved, and I believe you could turn all this off in case you wanted. PlayStation 5 players will be able to use the clips to help complete trophies or find hidden items in a game. So that's why I was using the Elden Ring example, because some of the stuff is hidden things, hidden bosses or specific areas. And I do think a game like Elden Ring, or a game that's very, very like filled with collectibles. Think how, you know, old school Assassin's Creed games would have like collectibles. If you guys have been playing Dragon Dogma, which I have been doing on my Twitch stream, that have like little small things for like golden beetles maybe, or maybe for individual like tokens you can collect for your characters, caves, I'm not sure, which is pretty much the sky is the limit if you want it. So they're basically saying instead of having to head to YouTube, although for me as a YouTuber, that's not good, like, you know, just saying, and to scan through videos to find help. These new community clips will build on top of Sony's existing game help section that then includes access to hints, tips, and walkthrough videos from developers. So it's just an overall community vibe, where sometimes they'll have games. Well, we'll have a game developer be like, hey, you know, if I always want to have hints, maybe you have to, maybe I'll use Monster Hunter for this example. Specific bosses sometimes will maybe add like blight to you, or have you be more paralyzed, or they scream more. So maybe a helpful tip for them would be like, hey, maybe you go and collect these null berries to make sure your character is okay, or make sure you change your build to make it so your character can get like shocked by screaming. We could use any example for any game out there. Like even say for Call of Duty, what if there's campaign tips? I'm like, hey, you have to make sure you go hit this specific enemy or use this type of gun. Whatever it might be, there's always options out there, especially if you want it. Now, once again, this does seem like this would all be pure, like if you want it. It won't be shoved anywhere. It's not gonna be bad. Like it should be fine. And I think that's what makes it kind of cool as well. They're saying the video clips will be moved from a PS5 console once they're uploaded to Sony servers. And if a clip is approved and published, you'll get a notification, and that's what we're showing you guys right over here. That basically your clip has now been like all good. It's a game help hint, and basically no audio from your webcam, microphone, or party chat. So let's say you're like just hanging out with your boys, playing some games, you're streaming the game from Elden Ring, whatever it might go and be. With all this, that gives you just a chance to showcase all the stuff, which I think is very, very nifty and very cool. And that's awesome. And there's also be a published video section where you can also remove any of these clips too as well for just some odd reason you just want to have it there. And it seems like PlayStation's doing a very nice and normal approach to it. They're basically saying, hey, like this is what's here, this is what's vibing. We're going to make it very, very easy, just a bonus in case people need it. And this is how I think these game features should be done. They're saying the community game help will start to become available in select games later on this year, and our goal is to expand it to as many titles as possible in the future. So I want to hear your thoughts on all this, because I think this is a cool idea. Once again, there are specific games that come to my mind instantaneously. Monster Hunter, Elden Ring, or any other maybe even JRPGs, hidden title games, people going for trophies, or whatever it might be that could be very helpful for this. And I think I like this. It's just a bonus thing. Like, it's not like a needed thing. It's just a quality of life thing that's out there. And I think I like this. I'm okay with this. I would maybe sometimes even use this. So I don't have to go on YouTube or ask like a Twitch chat or have to go on Twitter or whatever. I personally would enjoy this. And I think maybe some of you guys would too as well. So this is something I give a green light to on PlayStation. It will be happening later on this year. And I do think this quality of life changes and party systems and UI changes and all of that we've been discussing on the channel for PlayStation are all putting PlayStation on a very, very right track. I'm very happy seeing this, and I think this is all around cool. And we also have seen a lot of cool patents as well in regards to game features. And like I said, like kind of toning up and down the gameplay itself. In terms of like how hard a boss can be or how much damage your character takes, whatever. And I do think it's kind of nice. Like in the future, it'll just make more people wanting to play games and getting less frustrated. So I approve. Give me your thoughts and comments on all this down below. Make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on. We do have the Twitter and Twitch stream down below in case you guys would like to go and follow. And I appreciate y'all for watching in the first place.